Welcome everyone to season 2 of the DIY Dish. We're pretty excited about that. Glad to have you here. And last year at this time we did our double layer cake pincushion, but this year we're going to do something that's quite a hoot.
That's right, and we're also going to fill you in on our new season format and tell you about a huge giveaway that you will not want to miss. I'm Kim.
And I'm Chris, and you're watching the DIY Dish.
Oh, it is good to be back, isn't it?
Yep.
So many of you have shared how excited you are to start sewing and crafting again during this time of the year, and we couldn't agree more.
That's right. You know, the temperatures are getting cooler, and it's just a fun time to create things for the fall and for the holidays.
That's right.
And you know how much we love giveaways.
Oh yes, we love them.
And so to kick off the new season, we thought, well, let's see. There's 2 of us.
That's right.
It's season 2.
That's right.
So let's both give away a machine that is a favorite of ours. And so today's sponsor, Janome, is helping us to do just that.
So I decided that a machine that I think is a lot of fun, and I thought a lot of you out there would love it, is a serger. Someone is going to win the Janome MyLock 634D.
Wow.
Now, I think we might be able to guess which kind of machine Chris chose to give away. Chris?
That's right. Machine embroidery is my favorite thing to do, and so I chose the Janome Memory Craft 300E embroidery machine. And we'll be sure to tell you more about both of those machines at the end of today's show. So let's go ahead and get started on today's project.
If you've been watching us from the beginning, you'll remember that on our first show last year, we made the double layer cake pincushion. So when trying to decide what we do this year for our first show, we thought we'd keep with the tradition of making a unique pincushion. And here it is. It's a trendy little owl you can set on a fabric shelf or next to your machine. Now this owl is one of the things Chris designed last year for the embroidery machine, but she changed it up a little bit so that all of us with a sewing machine could make them too. Okay, so Chris, how do we get started?
Well, it's actually very easy. What you'll want to do first is print off your download that we have available at the DIYdish.com, and you'll have the owl and its legs. Notice on the owl that there is a dotted line about 1/4 inch outside of the outline. That's to show you exactly where to cut, okay? So once you have your pattern cut out, it's going to look like this. And from here, go ahead and go through that scrap fabric drawer of yours.
Oh, we all have them.
Maybe not a drawer, probably bins, right? And fold your fabric directly in half. Okay, so the wrong sides are together. And then place your owl on top, just like that. Okay. And then from there, we'll go ahead and take our scissors and cut right on that dotted line on the outside. That's going to now become the main part of our owl. Once you have that cut out, you will take your scissors and you're going to cut out the wings, the pattern for the wings. Notice there's a dotted line there. You're going to actually keep that 1/4 inch seam allowance on the outside part of the wing. So go ahead and cut there and cut right here along that. Okay? And I'm going to show you how easy that is to do.
Okay, so you're not cutting off this extra seam allowance.
No, don't cut off the extra seam allowance.
That's important to know.
Just like that. Okay, once you have those cut out, you'll place it on your coordinating fabric for your wings. And from here, cut both wings out. Okay?
And is this just a single layer of fabric?
Just a single layer of fabric.
Okay.
Exactly. Now you have the pattern for your nose and for your eyes. So here we go. I used actually orange felt for the nose and white felt for the eyes, and then I'm going to use black felt for the middle of the eyes.
Great.
Okay. Once you have all your pieces cut out, go ahead and take some temporary spray adhesive and lightly spray the back of each of your pieces, and you're going to place it onto your owl, just like that.
That is starting to really form and take shape, and it looks so cute.
Exactly.
I love it.
Exactly. And so from here, go ahead and take that first layer over to your sewing machine. And Kim, I'm going to go ahead and let you take this and start appliquing the pieces, holding them into place. But the difference is this time we are actually going to leave about 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, so on the inside of each of the wings. Okay. The reason why I do that is because I want my wings to actually fray. I want the fabric to fray up a little bit.
That's a really fun look, the frayed look.
Yes.
I like that.
So go ahead and finish that, Kim.
And I just continue to do that on all sides, right?
Exactly. And I happen to like to use a contrasting thread color, just because I like it showing up. But if you'd rather have something that matches more closely, you could do that. Now, once all of her pieces are sewed onto the front, go ahead and place right sides together, because now we're going to take it back to the sewing machine, making sure to leave the opening down here left open. And then to go with your 1/4 inch seam allowance and go all the way around the outside edge. Okay, and then the reason why we leave that open is so we can turn it inside out.
Okay, just like a pillow.
Just like a pillow.
All right.
That's
And
right.
it's 1/4 of an inch?
Yes, 1/4 inch seam allowance.
All right.
Okay, so go ahead and
I'm
start
on it.
that, Kim. Ooh, look at her go. Making sure to pivot at the ears.
Okay.
So now that Kim has finished sewing the front and the back sides together.
This is so easy.
Yes, you go ahead and turn it inside out so that your owl now looks a little like this. This is where a lot of fun comes in, Kim, because now you can start fraying those edges and pulling those threads around the wings just like that, very carefully, and you have a very cute frayed look to your owl.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, now that you're done with the main part of the owl, go ahead and set that aside, and now it's time to work on the legs of that owl. Those funky, quirky looking legs, Kim.
I love them.
Okay, so remember we had the pattern that you had downloaded, okay? Go ahead and cut out just around the outside of the legs, okay, of the pattern, and then fold your fabric in half. Again, just like we did before with the main owl, so that your wrong sides are together, and then simply place your pattern on top with a pin. Now, from here, you're going to do something what's similar to paper piecing when you're actually sewing on top of the paper. And this is going to give you a real defined look to your legs, and it's going to make it really simple.
Does this mean we're not going to have to turn the legs inside out?
No.
Oh,
no
that's
turning
nice.
inside out. So go ahead and set your sewing machine on a tighter stitch, a tighter straight stitch. I would suggest maybe like a 1.5 possibly.
Okay.
You just want it a little bit tighter because after you're done sewing on top of the paper, you're actually going to pull it off.
Should we try it out?
Okay, go ahead and try
All
that
right.
out, Kim. Line up your needle right on the line
Should
and
I
go
back
ahead
stitch?
and start. Yes, go ahead and back stitch on that.
Okay. I like this. It takes all the guesswork out of where I'm going.
Exactly.
If I can follow a straight line, then we're doing all right.
That's right. You don't have to wonder if you're going on the right place as long as you're on the line.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Good job, Kim.
Well, I wasn't exact on the lines, but I tried my best.
Good job.
Okay.
All right. So now that Kim has sewn mostly on the lines, it's time to go ahead and rip the paper off. Okay. Just like that. See how easily that comes off? Okay. And now you know exactly where you can cut your legs. Okay. I'm going to just get the rest of that off. Perfect. Notice the dark stitches here. Now, with your scissors, go ahead and cut just outside, about 1/8 of an inch outside of the legs. Okay. All the way around. Perfect. Okay, now once you have that finished, you're going to stuff your legs. And so with just a little bit of polyester fiberfill stuffing, you go ahead and poke that down into the bottom of your legs about halfway. And from there, tie it in a knot. See how we've got this stuffed
I
here?
love the little knobby
And
knees.
then the little knot makes the knobby knees.
That's right.
Exactly. Okay, so now we have our legs. And now we have our owl. Now it's time to get stuffing. So what you'll want to do is first add a little bit more stuffing to the bottom of your owl. Well, actually, it's kind of the top of your owl now, really, right?
And you're just sticking it right there
I'm
in the
sticking
ears?
it into the ears because I want it formed real nice and smooth into my ears. Once I have my ears stuffed with just a little bit of filling, I'm going to take what's called walnut litter. Do you know what walnut litter is, Kim?
I have a guess, but where do you pick that up?
You can buy it at most quilt stores actually sell it because a lot of pincushions are made with walnut litter. However, you can also go to your local pet store and find it there.
Oh, okay. And why would you choose walnut litter and not the rest polyfill stuffing?
Well, because I want the owl to be a little bit heavier so it sits nice.
Okay, that makes sense.
And straight up, so that's why I'm filling with walnut litter. So just carefully fill it all the way with walnut litter. And actually, as you go, I like to take a little bit more stuffing and go down the sides.
Oh, okay.
So it helps fill it out as well, makes it nice and tight. Okay. So once that is all done, your owl is going to look a little like this. I'm going to keep him upside down for now so that nothing falls out. But see how I have my opening there?
And then you added a little stuffing at the end.
Added a little stuffing at the end just to help keep all that walnut litter in
Yeah,
place.
you don't want that going all over the place.
That's right. And then there's this wonderful thing out there called the Wonder
Tape.
Wonder exactly.
Tape. Mm-hmm.
And it's basically a double-sided tape, and I put it on the outside of my seams. Okay. And once I have those off, I'm going to actually take my legs and stick them right there on one side. It doesn't matter which side you start with. And then flip my legs over and flip the other side over a quarter of an inch. Stick it together nice and tight and sew it across.
That was so easy. I
And you're
love
done.
it. As you can tell, Chris had a lot of fun making the samples
I
in the
did.
different fabrics as you see here. And think of the possibilities. If you'd like to make a pillow for a child's bedroom, just enlarge the pattern 200%. For those of you who love to paper craft or make cards, this pattern works really well for that too. Of course, we would love to see what you are making with this pattern, so be sure to post on our Facebook or even in our Flickr group.
That's right. And to close, we want to thank today's sponsor, Janome. And I am so excited about this giveaway. I love, Kim, that the Memory Craft 300E has the ability to stitch in 2 different hoop sizes. So you've got the smaller hoop size, like a 4x5, and then a 5x8.
Really nice. Yeah.
And so it's wonderful for all those of you who love to embroider. And also, you can actually resize designs, Kim, and combine designs on the screen in front of you. So it's wonderful.
Yeah, those are really nice features. But what about that serger?
Yes.
Think rolled hems, easy ruffling, and of course a professional finish to your sewing. That is what you are going to love about the Mylock 634D. So by now you're saying, okay, Kim and Chris, all right, that sounds great, but how do I enter? Well, first, if you're on our newsletter list, you're already entered. That was easy.
Pretty easy.
That's right, but that's just one of the ways. We also want to give you additional entries. All you have to do is leave a blog comment under this video post at thediydish.com. You can even share this video and the information on your own blog. Tweet about it on Twitter, tell a friend, you name it. We would love for you to share the news. Contest rules and details are found at thediydish.com. We're also going to throw in 2 more $100 gift certificates to our favorite sites. Perhaps we might be a little biased, but they're to youcanmakethis.com and swackembroidery.com. Winners will be announced December 6, 2010.
Now, you may have noticed that there was no 2-minute craft countdown at the end of our show as we did last year. We still will have those, so don't you worry. But now we're giving them their very own segment, so to speak. The show format this year will bring you more of a main extensive project.
Like we did today.
That's right, every other week. And then to give you time to finish that project before the next, we're going to bring you a 2-minute craft countdown on the other weeks.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. And as always, we want to hear from you. So post your comments or questions on our blog, and we'll try our very best to answer them in our weekly Second Helping blog post. Thanks for joining us today. We hope that you felt that creativity was served. Bye-bye.
Bye.